Research found that most Fury sedative on the market are not safe, so I guess Scarla was right to be cautious about that. Profile, Morris Lester from slum to glam. Pajama-clad 27-year-old actuary found decapitated on his own bed. Nice. Oh, hey, Freya. You already here? I don't think we're open yet. Do you want to order anything else? I'm good for now. I'll order again once I finish reading this. Okay then. I'll leave you with whatever that is. Oh man. Ooh, it's Aqua. Oh, Aqua, fancy seeing you again so soon. Hi, Freya. Hi, Valkii. Good evening, Miss Aqua. How are you two doing? Same old. I'm good, how about you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? Oops, I asked that already. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. Is Myrtle here? So far, it's only me and Valkii. We have you with us now, of course. Are you meeting her here tonight? Oh, it's not that. I was just wondering whether she's coming here again tonight. You have her email, right? Yeah. Why don't you just tell her to come and meet you here now? That always works for me whenever I want to talk to someone. That wouldn't be nice. It's not that important anyway. I just wanted to follow up on the questions her team sent today. Follow up directly, I mean. Anyway, I should order something. Take your time, Miss Aqua. It's alright, I'll order now. I'll have a cup of tea with lemon and cinnamon, please. Okay, so a cup of tea with... Oh, what's this? Mint. Oh. Lemon and cinnamon. A Russian tea. I will serve you this Russian tea. Here you go. Oh, it looks so pretty. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Russian tea, right? Oh, you knew? I heard about it once. I'm pretty sure the only part that's Russian is the name. Probably. It was originally from a community cookbook or something. You're right. Whoa, that's a highly specific fun fact to know. I guess I spend too much time browsing the internet. When did you arrive, Freya? I've been here since you left last night. Blub, blub, blub. Finish drinking first, Aqua. I'm sorry. I said you haven't left. I was just joking. Oh, that would be crazy. Why? Oh no. I didn't mean to offend you or anything. It's just that you shouldn't forget to take breaks. Please make sure you get enough rest. Of course I will, Miss Aqua. Thank you for the reminder. By the way, Aqua. Yes? Where do you come from? Because, judging from your accent, you're not from the States, right? I'm not. I'm from the ocean. Whoa, so you're a full-fledged oceanic? Born and raised in the sea. Why did you move here? Chasing the American dream, I guess. You moved with your family? No, I'm the only one who could move here. Oh, may I know why? It's not easy for our people, especially the females, to get higher education. I got scholarships and the opportunity. I wasn't sure about moving, you know? But my parents pushed me to do it. How long have you been here? Almost 2 years now. Do your parents visit often? They can't. Do you know how hard it is for my people to get a US visa? I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay, we're still in contact. We do a video call at least once a week. Do you have siblings? Of course. We are sea people. My extended family is probably as big as Seattle's population. Whoa, that's a lot. You really have that many relatives? Of course not. I was just exaggerating. But if you count my grandpa's kids and grandkids, there are hundreds of us. Holy. How about you, Freya? Do you have any siblings? I have. Not as many as you, I assume. Hehehe. I have a little brother. 4 years younger. He also lives in Seattle? No, he's living in San Francisco. Near our parents' house. He's the good kid and I'm the rebel. Working some high-end tech job, while taking care of my dad on the weekends. That's so nice of him. I know, right? That reminds me, I should visit my parents after finishing this draft. You should. Visit them while you can. I know. Anyway, I want to order something. Another espresso? You know, the usual. Espresso then. Even though you still have a steaming cup there, apparently. Your espresso's ready. Thanks. Bitter. Just the way I love it. Oh, who's here? Oh, hello, sir? Good evening, sir. Good evening. How can I help you, sir? I like how their phones still go off and stuff and they still like check them. I think that's really cute. That's a really cute touch. Yes. I don't know what to order. Something to raise your spirits, perhaps? Nothing you like on the menu? I can make you a custom drink if you like. Actually, are you familiar with STMJ? I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. If you can tell me the ingredients, I'm sure I can recreate it. Ah, lucky me. STMJ stands for Susu Telur Madu Jahe. It's Indonesian. It means milk, egg, honey, and ginger. Understood. Wait, do you have the eggs? I certainly have. They're not on the shelf, but I'll add an egg once I've mixed the rest of the ingredients. I'd love that. 1 cup of STMJ, please. What was it again? I didn't mean to do that. Resume game. Milk, egg, and honey. So it's milk, honey, and ginger. Milk, honey, and ginger. Hopefully, I will add it right away. I just don't believe that I've done it right. Milk, honey, and ginger. Milk, honey, and ginger. Milk, ginger, and honey. Let's do that. Why does it have to be in a specific order and not even in the order that he said it in? It just doesn't make sense. Alright, here you go, bud. Here's your STMJ, sir. Ah, that smell. It brings back so many memories. It's quite difficult to find a place with a proper STMJ around here in the States. I've traveled to so many places, and none of them got it right. You're the first one to manage it. Excuse me, may I ask you girls something? Sure, ask away. What kind of things do you kids like doing nowadays? Excuse me? Aren't you college students? No, we're not. Oh, I see. Ah! May I ask how old you are? You're being creepy, old man. Go back to your chair and keep your distance. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be creepy. Hey, Valkii. Who is this pervy old man? I have no idea, it's his first time here. I want to be able to understand young people. Hey, Georgie. Thank God you're here, Officer Georgie. What's up? There's a creepy old man trying to flirt with us. He's not trying to do that, come on. Where? You mean him? Yes, but not so loud. This man here is Rachel's dad, Freya. He asked to meet me, so I told him to come here. Oh, I didn't know that Rachel's dad was a pervy old man. No wonder she ran away from home. Everyone, please meet Mr. Furlong, Rachel's dad. Mr. Furlong, please meet Freya and Valkii. Please call me Hendry. I apologize for earlier. I wasn't trying anything funny. I'm sorry about that. Wait a minute. Your name is Hendry Furlong? Yes. And you're Rachel Florencia's father? Yes. Furlong? Florencia? Why do you have different last names? What are you trying to pull? Florencia was my late wife's maiden name. Oh, I'm sorry. Rachel chose it for her stage name. Freya. Okay, I think I better work on my novel. I'm sure you guys have a lot to talk about. Freya, I'll come with you. Anyway, what was it that you wanted to talk to me about? It's about Rachel. That night when you drove her home, was she hanging out with shady people? Well, I think one of them was a bit shady. Hey, I heard that. What? I'm not a criminal. I'm just kidding. She was in this coffee shop talking with Freya and Valkii here. She wasn't in any danger. Are you sure? What about before that? Whoa, calm down. Is everything alright? It's just that I feel that she's getting more and more distant. I don't know how to talk to her anymore, or even what to talk about. I don't know what kids her age are into nowadays. Every time we talk, we ended up fighting. I have 3 daughters. We fight all the time. One thing that I learned, give them time and space. But be there when they need you. Or you can just bribe them. One time I had a fight with my eldest daughter. She didn't want to talk to me for a week. I know she loves pizza, so I went to Rocco's and bought her favorite pie. I left the pizza on the table like a trap. Then I just waited for her to take the bait, just like a stakeout. Once she took a bite of that delicious pepperoni, I casually grabbed a slice and sat with her. That pizza really helped smooth things over. After that, she wouldn't stop talking. What if what she loves doing is the problem? Rachel loves singing and performing on stage. I'm proud of what she has achieved with her career. She's really young. But the entertainment industry isn't a kind place. Not the label, not the media, not the fans. And I don't trust her new manager. Rachel's just a little girl. What if she gets harassed? Or forced to do drugs? Did something happen? Well, nothing's happened yet. I just feel it in my guts. Is it possible that you're just being paranoid? I don't know. Maybe. Psst, Valkii, I need to go now. Thanks for the drink. Take care on your way. Bye, Aqua. Well, can't you just find another manager? Rachel's already 18, so legally she can sign contracts without parental approval. I've been trying to tell her to quit, but every time I brought it up, we just ended up fighting. As a parent, there's really nothing much we can do, other than guiding them and being there when they need us. Sooner or later, we'll have to trust them to make their own decisions. And with everything we've taught them, hopefully they'll make the right choices. What if she's made the wrong choices? I can do a background check on that manager, if that will ease your mind. Please do. While we're waiting for that, I'm gonna just get rid of these notifications. Who is new? Aqua. A mermaid from Atlantis and a friendly introvert. Tea lover. Favorite things, Full Metal Conflict, video games in general, and grandma. Moved to Seattle to achieve my dream of advancing technology as far as we can, trying to find the place and person where I belong while doing something I love. Fair. That's a cute picture. Okay, give me a name. It's Morris. Last name Lester. Morris Lester, got it. Oh, isn't he the guy in today's paper? Anyway, I'll let you know if there's a hit. Hold on, I gotta take this. I've just got a call. I've got to go. I'd love to talk more about this with you. Let's meet again soon. Wait. You have my contact details. Call me if you ever need my help. Wait. Don't worry, I'm sure everything will be alright. I used to manage a girl band. I've seen bad things happen. That bad? Yeah. I was against her joining that pop group at first, but my wife, Rachel's mom, she convinced me to give it a chance. Ever since she's been gone, I don't know how to talk to Rachel. With her wanting to do more of her own stuff, I don't know what to do. What do you mean by her own stuff? Modeling and a solo singing career. It's a whole different world than a band. I'm familiar with that side of the biz, but things have changed, right? Even if it has, I don't think it's for the better. She survived being an idol, even managed to graduate and start a solo career. She sounds like someone who can take care of herself. Don't you think so? She's not ready. I don't want her to get hurt. There are a lot of bad people out there. People that want to take advantage of her. You're her father. I understand you might be worried. However, you shouldn't hinder her from achieving her dreams. I just want what's best for her. Is it really what's best, though? I think she's born to soar. But she's just a girl. My little girl. Seriously, that's your argument? I didn't mean to sound that way. It doesn't matter whether she's a boy or a girl. You'll drive her away if you keep on acting like this. With your knowledge, you should be able to help her achieve her dreams. I was once a stubborn young girl too. Maybe I can give you a little advice on how to handle rebellious teens. I'd love to hear it. Is it okay if I stay a bit longer, Valkii? Take all the time you need. Really? We're already on the next day? Limenthal. Sour and cool with a hint of home. Werewolf representatives push the ministry for more accessible sedative. Doctor from Salak town arrested for experimenting with child cloning. Military personnel stationed along East Coast to prevent immigrants flooding in from the Atlantic. Well, that's topical considering we know Aqua now, rather. Hey, dude, are you sure that would be okay? Yes! Oh wait, you know what I forgot to do yesterday? I forgot to look at the story yesterday. Cyberpunk Love Hotel. Room service, get this order to room 512. The order came around 10:30 p.m. I was doing nothing, or in other words, I was waiting for an order to come. I was tasked to take a bottle of wine and a couple packs of condoms. Yes, sometimes guests really do ask for things like this. Talk about being unprepared. The person in charge that night gave me the requested items and let me out of the room to deliver them. From there, I went to the lobby and waited for the elevator to arrive. While I was waiting, a guest came in behind me and pressed the button to call the elevator. He looked at me in awe. I looked back at him, showing him the smile hotel management taught me. He smiled back. When we got in the elevator, he pushed the button for the 3rd floor. Silence filled the tiny room. As we ascended, the guest pulled his phone from his pocket and started recording me. This again, I thought. I didn't do anything about it. To be precise, I can't do anything about it. It's part of the job after all. Ding. We reached the 3rd floor. The guest left while still pointing his camera at me. I waited alone until the elevator reached the 5th floor a few seconds later. I left the elevator and started walking towards room 512. When I was in front of the door, I rang the bell. It's here, I can hear the muffled voice of a woman. The door opened. Look, hun, they really do use a robot to deliver room service. The woman shouted back to her partner. Haha, that's so cool. The guy responded, trying to sound interested, though I'm sure he was staring at the woman's butt and couldn't wait to use the stuff they'd ordered. I want to take a picture with the robot, okay? The woman said in a saccharine, sweet, mildly nauseating tone. Sure, hun, wait, are you sure it's okay to just hug the robot like that? Huh, turned out the man could still think with his big brain after all. It's fine, I saw they even have a robot you can have sex with. I'm sure a simple hug won't matter, said the woman. That's a different model. What's next? You're gonna hug a Terminator? I screamed internally. Say cheese, then. 1, 2, 3, flash. It looks so cute. I was hoping it might look more human-like though. Maybe they don't have the technology for that yet, said the woman who still hadn't grasped the concept of look but don't touch. Okay, come on darling, this robot has got other things to do. Let's just take our order and let it do its work. They took their order and closed the door. Oh humans, how the hell did your people manage to survive for so long in this universe? I wondered as I trundled back down to my room. Alright. The anxious boy and his love stories on public transportation. The day was hot, sunny and humid, just like most days in Jakarta. I was standing inside a crowded bus, neither well-functioning air conditioning nor proper ventilation, trying to keep myself productive in the uncomfortable environment by reading my recently bought copy of Maruki Harukami's The Elephant Vanishes while listening to a random playlist on my old iPod. Yeah, we can't tell you wrote this, Freya. Despite the hellish conditions, you could say I was luckier than most because I was standing near the rear door of the bus, leaning my back on the side of a seat, Safe enough not to fall out of the bus, breezy enough to breathe freely. As mentioned, I was on a public bus in Jakarta, so naturally I needed to be wary with my surroundings, mostly keeping my belongings secure from pickpockets and other human pests. I glanced around the bus several times in between pages, and that was when I saw her. It's hard to describe her. She has no specific characteristic to differentiate her from other women. She was like the perfect example of the girl you walk past unseeing on the sidewalk every day. A girl you might glance at for a second, then a few steps later it would be hard even to remember her hair colour, never mind what her eyes, her nose, her mouth looked like. She was standing near the front door of the bus, not leaning on anything or anyone, not touching the bacteria-infested hand grip on the ceiling of the bus, although to be fair, it might have been hard for her to reach that grip anyway. But still, she stood there with the perfect balance of a tree rooted in healthy soil. She stood as if someone had silently put the Venus de Milo on the bus, and she somehow fit perfectly without anyone noticing it happening. She was wearing a pair of earphones, wired just like the headphones were supposed to be, and a slight smile on her face. Sometimes she closed her eyes for a few moments, enjoying the music only she could hear. Her eyes rarely stayed in one place, they kept wandering around the bus. Not too fast like someone anxious, not too slow like someone looking at something specific. Maybe she's the one, I thought. This isn't the first time a thought like this has crossed my mind. As a hopeless romantic, seeing any woman who piques my interest will immediately trigger a story in my imagination. A story of how I'll approach them, get to know them, with the proviso that they're just as I imagine them to be. Start dating, get married, have kids, grow old in our home, and so on and so on. Random cuties, that's what I call them. Unicorns among horses. The term doesn't apply to any cute girls I see, of course. It has to be someone special, or at least someone I imagine to be special. The thing is, automatically imagining those stories whenever I happen across a random cutie isn't healthy. It puts a toll on my mind, of course, and of course my heart. It creates a lot of unhealthy expectations before any opportunities even arise. Oh shit, she looked at me. We made eye contact for a brief flash of seconds. I immediately returned to my book. Did she notice me staring at her? Did she see what I was thinking? My mind wouldn't stop spinning, overthinking, while my pulse beats double time in my ears. I continue staring at my book. With what just happened, I obviously can't read it properly. My eyes were looking at the words, but nothing was being processed other than thoughts of her. I glanced back to her, and she was staring at me. Eye contact more than once. It has to mean something. Should I approach her and introduce myself? Yes, I should. But what if things goes wrong? What's the worst thing that could happen if we introduce ourselves? First, it's a crowded bus, and moving from the rear door to the front will definitely annoy some people. Second, what if after we approach her, she becomes annoyed and, oh come on, you're overthinking as usual. Nothing bad will happen even if she does get annoyed. Don't dismiss me, nothing bad will happen. Or she might scream and say I'm a pervert, and then the whole bus will beat me to death. Oh, and the worst option, what if we introduce ourselves and then it turns out she's not like we imagined her to be? All that time and energy will be wasted, exchanged for years of agony. Oh, everything will be fine, don't worry so much. No matter what happens second, we will have to try something first. No, there's too much at risk. The debate is still raging inside my head, and that's when it happens. We make eye contact again, but this time it lasts longer than a few seconds, and then she smiled at me. Just a small curve on those perfectly average, beautiful lips. I quickly returned to my book. See, you have to do something. But remember the girl with the violin we saw on the train to Yogyakarta a few years ago? Of course I remember. Exactly, she was just a random person that sat across from you in the train. We don't even remember what month it was, and yet we still remember the maroon coat she was wearing, the violin case she put in the overhead compartment, her reddish hair in that pixie cut, her... Stop it, that was different. And we might have saved ourselves a lot of embarrassment by not talking to her. The thoughts, the noise, the internal dialogue, it won't stop. I was sweating, but not because of the heat, a cold sweat. This had to stop. Stop, I screamed internally. Everything stopped, and just in time, my old iPod randomly shuffled to explosions in the spaces. The only moment we were alone. I cranked up the volume, put my book in my bag, and just breathed. Yes, I might lose the chance to meet the one by doing this, but at least as long as I don't know her, she's perfect. As far as I know, she might be listening to explosions in the space. As far as I know, she might be a big fan of Harukami and Final Dreams. Alright, yeah, I see what you're doing there. As far as I know, she might be single. As far as I know, she might be The 100% perfect match for me that I believe can't exist if my knowledge of her goes any farther than what I know right now. Besides, as the old saying goes, if it's meant to be, it will be. The bus stopped in front of Plaza Senayan, my destination. It was time for me to go. I decided not to look in her direction as I left, knowing that if I looked at her, it would be the last time I ever saw her. That's too hard for a hopeless romantic like me. I left the bus and enjoyed the warm sun and the breeze of fresh air, finally out of that metal Schrodinger's box. That's when it happened. I turned my head to the right, and there she was, standing alone, enjoying the breeze now she was free of the roasting metal box we humans named a bus. She turned her head to the left, showing me a glimmer of surprise at seeing me standing there. After that, she smiled, so if it's meant to be, it will be. It's a long-ass bloody story. I mean, it would be really hard to pull off, but it's something that'll make the story different. Different isn't always good. It's a neat concept, but you need to handle it carefully. And gracefully. I know. Hey, Gala. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Gala. Am I interrupting? It looked like you were having an intense discussion. It's nothing. Valkii was just giving me feedback. It's for the book I'm writing. It sounds like a heavy discussion. What are you up to tonight? I'm just planning to sit and relax. Please don't let my presence interrupt you. Oh, don't worry about it. Although I need to interrupt Valkii for a moment. Sure, how can I help you? Can I have a cup of... You remember my remedy? Of course. Do you want to give it a try again? My last order might have been the right drink, but let's give it a try again. Just to be sure. Okay. Remember, it has tea and ginger. Wait, what's your bloody thing again? Right, it's here, right? Right, tea, milk, ginger. So it's tea, milk, ginger. There we go. Judging from the smell, this looks like it. Indeed, I have the same feeling. I've made a note of that mixture. Perfect. Anyway, please don't mind me and continue with your discussion. Don't worry, Mr. Gala, we're done for the night. I actually wanted to check here. Anything warm and made with ginger, music, Metal Maiden, books, Full Metal Jarhead. Why is it always Full Metal? I'm not sure anymore now. Okay, trying to heal myself by helping other people heal. Okay. You're done. I have a lot of new homework thanks to you. You're welcome. Is Hyde coming? No, I'm by myself tonight. It's gonna be a peaceful night then. That's mean, Freya. Oh, come on, I was just joking. He needs to learn how to communicate his thoughts nicely, though. He might not look like it, but he's a very kind person, you know. He doesn't show it, that's for sure. That applies to you as well. Oh, come on. Who dis? Oh, hey, it's Bailey's. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Bailey's. Heya. How are you doing, Freya? Not good. What's going on? Valkii was just criticizing my story. It's called feedback. It's cruel. It's necessary. Sounds interesting. What's the problem with the story? The story is non-linear and quite complicated. Imagine a choose-your-own-adventure storybook, but for adults. Man, I've always wanted to make one of those. Always. I toyed with the idea with a original story a really long time ago. Sounds pretty common so far. But instead of telling you which page to turn to, each decision you make will give you a score. What? That score will determine which page you should go to. That sounds more like a video game than a book. I know, it's not that original. But my target here is the mainstream audience. Huh? With the help of my publisher, this kind of book may go mainstream. Just like that Choose Your Own Adventure show on Netstream. It was nothing new, but because of the marketing, and the names involved, it reached the mainstream market. And that sounds interesting. And highly ambitious, Freya. At least it's simpler than my other idea. Which is, making the novel not in the form of a book, but in the form of story cards. What? I know, right? As if she has all the time in the world, and that's before even considering the sensitive issue. of setting the story in a world where only humans exist. What did you say? No, there's a reason why it has to be that way. Just wait until I finished it, okay? Alright, alright. As Valkii said though, I won't have the time. Getting a normal pitch approved is already a steep climb. Let's not make the mountain even higher. Fair enough. What's the story all about, by the way? You'll have to wait for it. Don't want to spoil the fun. If you say so. Anyway, I haven't ordered anything. What do you want to drink tonight? Ginger latte, if you know how to make it. A latte. Isn't that just like coffee, milk, and ginger? That's a milk ginger coffee. Okay. Alright, let me have a look at how to actually just make a latte, yeah? I'm so confused. This is a latte. Maybe maybe it just needs to be in a different fucking order. If not, I'm gonna look it up. I hate everything. I mean, maybe there's a reason that it wants you to do it in this order because that's the actual way you do it in real life. I don't know. Here you go. Thanks. Damn, this is good. With this kind of drink making skill, I wonder why your place isn't any bigger. What we have here now is more than enough for me. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. By the way, how are you doing, Baileys? Still busy with your last client? Oh, I'm done with her. Done? As in you're dropping the project? Hey, I'm not crazy. I still need the money. Done as in I finished the job. I spent the last few days making sure it's even done before the deadline. Did she like it? Oh, she loved it. She had some complaints, of course, but I convinced her by using some design terms she doesn't understand. So you finished your job by bullshitting her. Hahaha. The finest bullshit, my lady. That's one survival skill every freelancer must have. Are you working on anything right now? Nope. I'm taking a break from work. I need to work on a few personal matters. Oh. Like you and Lua? Something like that. By the way, I'm curious, how did you guys meet? If you don't mind me asking. I don't mind. It's just that I was young and stupid, you know? Oh, come on. Who hasn't been there? You're right. So, I was a bit of a player back in college. Ooh, spicy. And I was going after my then best friend's girlfriend's friend. Wait, what? Okay, I'll say it slowly. I used to have a best friend. He was an incubus. Okay. Let's call him Cognac. Cognac has a girlfriend. Still following? And that girl has a friend. The friend is the one I'm after. Oh, okay. Got it. She was one of the hottest girls there, but everyone knew she wasn't the type of girl you'd want to date. Why? I don't want to get into details, but this succubus was super hot, and all the guys wanted to sleep with her. She was a player too. Huh? That doesn't sound like Lua at all. Because it wasn't Lua, genius. Huh? Lua was my friend's girl. Holy moly, this is getting spicier. The other girl's name was, let's just call her Rose. Continue. I knew Lua thanks to her relationship with Cognac. That's a fake name you made up, right? Yes. Now, will you let me continue without interruptions? Okay. So, I asked Lua a lot of things about Rose. She knew what I was after. It annoyed her so much, but I kept on bothering her. I mean, I was a pretty active guy back then. So, Lua came over to visit us at one point. I lived with Cognac back in college. I'd been out and I got back just as Lua arrived. A total coincidence. We went into our place together and witnessed something surprising. What? Cognac was sleeping with Rose. Holy mother of moly! I saw the look on Lua's face, the disbelief, anger, sadness, and without even thinking about it, I punched Cognac in the face. You what? I got into a fight with him. Oh, I haven't told you. Cognac was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tutor for kids. He's pretty good. Oh my. Yeah, I landed that one punch. And he beat me to a pulp. Easily. Lua begged me to stop fighting on her behalf. More like she begged Cognac. Hey, I wasn't kidding. I lost, but I don't give up so easily. I was beaten pretty bad, so Lua took care of my injuries. We grew closer after that. And I don't even remember the exact date, but suddenly that friendship turned into a relationship. That was one hell of a story. I know. Have you seen her by any chance? Yeah. Lua came by a few days ago. How was she doing? She hasn't returned any of my calls or texts. Well, she's healthy, that's for sure. She got into an argument, though. With whom? There was this male model. A model? I didn't think she was the type of girl to go out with a model. Oh, they weren't together. What were they arguing about? Well, we were talking about your relationship. Lua told us about the reason behind the fight, about your family stuff, and then this guy, Hyde, joined the discussion. What did he say? He didn't understand why Lua would insist on getting family approval, considering, what? You're willing to leave your own family? You would do that for her? Yes, I would. I'm sick and tired of my family. Why would you say that? Let me tell you about my family. Or should I say, most elven families. They all think they're so high and mighty. If you're born an elf, there are certain unwritten rules you must follow. Reputation and appearance are everything. We must never ever make our family look bad. You can only befriend certain people. You must dress a certain way. You can only have certain jobs. Jobs that are deemed worthy and successful. Like being a doctor, a lawyer, a CEO. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be an artist. I love drawing and creating art. However, becoming an artist is not something elves would deem suitable, unless you become the next Da Vinci. So when I switched from a business major to an art major, my parents went crazy, screamed like they were on fire. They told me I'd never be rich or successful. All that because you chose an art degree. You want to know the worst part? They blamed Lua. What do you mean? They blamed her for my decision to pursue my passion for art. Yelled about how her kind is ruining the country. Accusing their religion of worshipping the Dark Lord. Accusing her of putting a spell on me and cursing the family. Whoa. I mean, come on, this is the 21st century. That's so not cool. I don't want to sound judgmental, but your family is racist. Tell me about it. Lua is the only person that can make me feel alive. She showed me how I can be free and pursue my dreams. I don't understand why Lua is so obsessed with the idea of reconciliation with my family. I just don't get it. I have no problem leaving my family, I would happily leave them for the both of us. What about her? What about her and her family? You may be happy to leave your family. However, it may not be the same for her. Gala, do you have something to say? Perhaps you could give us a different perspective. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I couldn't help overhearing your story. I'm going to keep this video going until the end of this day because I'm not sure how the save function works and I don't fancy testing it out. So I'm just going to go until it's the next day and then I'll save. I assumed that the person you're talking about is not an elf, correct? Yes, she's a succubus. I see. I'm a werewolf. For werewolves, the wolf pack is the most important thing. We'll put family before any other. We often have our own problems within the pack, but we won't abandon our family for anything. Perhaps that's also true for her and her family. Besides, if you leave your family for her, wouldn't that make your parents believe that all those bad stereotypes about succubi are true? I never thought of it that way before. Whether you like it or not, your actions will have an impact on her as well. And if you leave your family for her, that will put her in a difficult spot. She might feel responsible for your actions. There's nothing to feel bad about. I'm leaving my messy family to create a better one with her. It's easy for you to say that now, but you don't know what the future holds. One day, circumstances might change. One day, one of you might regret your decisions. One day, you might use the "I left my family for you" card. We love each other. I'll be with her whatever the circumstances may be. Love is like a flame. It might burn fiercely at first, but over time it will die down if you don't maintain it. Maintaining it won't be easy, it will be hard work. Because life is full of storms. And marriage, it will not survive on love alone. Whoa, that's deep. We'll have each other, and that's enough for us. Tell me, do you have health insurance? What? I'm an elf, why would I need health insurance? You'll need some. What for? Immortality is an elven privilege, but you'll lose it if your family disowns you. I've seen people go bankrupt because they fell ill or got seriously injured. Emptied their entire life savings for an $8 pill because in this country they charge $20K for it. And if you decide to have children, they won't have the same privilege as you do. There's a high probability that they'll get bullied for being a half-breed. There are consequences. It shouldn't be taken lightly. Think about it. Anyway, I've got to go. I apologize for my intrusion. I'll just drop some knowledge bombs on you, make you, rethink absolutely everything, make you probably a little bit depressed, and then I'm off. See ya. No, thank you for your insight. I've got to go too. Want to head out together? Sure. Thanks for the drink, Valkii. And Freya. Bye. Bye, guys. What? You made me lose 2 customers in a minute. Hey, that wasn't on me. They were leaving anyway. Are you going to write that in your book? It's a secret. If your book is based on this coffee shop, how can you present a story like theirs in a world with only humans around? I'm not sure. Perhaps a hot drink will give you some inspiration. Sounds like a great idea. I guess she didn't want me to make her anything. Alright, well. I will see you in the next video. Bye.